So this is my original Maxi. I got this when I was like 16. It's the first engine I ever rebuilt. It's a case cover popped out when I was still learning how to set these ZA50s up. So there's actually JB Weld on the engine case right here. Kind of cool. This is the original case still. What we're going to do today is take one of the performance covers that I make for the, we've got the ZA70, the complete billet ZA50 engine that's reed inducted, and we'll take a Gila as stock. But one of the things I wanted to do is that ended up being a little bit more expensive and inaccessible than I'd hoped for. So one of the cool things I was able to do is the case cover from the ZA70 is backwards compatible with the original ZA50 castings. So you've got some longer screws, 65 millimeters in 4 spots, and then I have 75s, I believe, in the corners. And then there's even the dowel pin alignment hole, which fits perfecto on the stock case, like you'll see. What we're gonna do is pop this cover off, which hasn't been off in a long time, see what the transmission's up to, and get this guy installed. So this case comes with a bleed cover screw, which isn't in there right now. Comes with grade 12.9 blue dye zinc hardware. Comes with secondary alignment pins. The case cover has a secondary alignment because it is split like this. So that'll align that half. And then to keep this happy with stock bikes and purists, the side stand cover is integrated, and there's a pin that gets pressed in there. So if you're running a center stand, you've still got a spring perch location. So we're just gonna pop this off. Always sad taking apart something that runs, but we're gonna improve that. Another thing you're gonna need is a pedal shaft extension. MLM makes a nice one that's on Treatland. Looking at those have been in the past sometimes hard to get. It looks like Treats has plenty of stock right now. So long as they don't remain hard to get, just recommendation will be pick up one of those to go along with it, because the pedal shaft already barely clears the stock cover, and it's definitely not going to clear the new cover. This bike's been rallied pretty well, not super hard, but it's been a long time since I've had this case cover off, and the oil inside is pretty grody to attest to that. Some of it's 75-90 gear oil, so there's a really good smell going on right now. Some of you know what gear oil smells like, so we got that going on. You're going to want to reuse your gasket. There we go. Here's the inside of this pretty high mileage kitted engine. Shims aren't really going to be relevant anymore. We're going to have to re-shim this for the new cover. So these dowel pins, they do go back on. They do go back in. You will reuse those. So we'll go on here like this. Like so. And then just to demonstrate, got the new cover here, and it does fit on perfectly. Aligns perfectly with the dowel pins. Does not move. Then these guys are going to go in here, like this. I think those are the right holes. And basically, this goes on here like this. So what we're going to do is work on making this done. We're going to heat this cover up, press the bearings in it, and then we're going to need to re-shim these. We're going to use Plastigauge. And just as a indication of how dirty this oil is, that's what we're looking at. Not a ton of metal, but you know, definitely been run some. So stick around. I'm gonna turn the grill on, get this case cover warmed up, get the bearings dropped in. One of the other cool things about the case cover is the 16100 bearing that sometimes goes on this shaft. It's been replaced with a 6200. So depending on whether you have injected or non-injected, the case cover is not specific anymore. The 6200, the 16101 are both interchangeable. So this case cover will work with injected or non-injected engines. All right, so it's a little bit later. Get the bearings pressed into the cover. It's important to note that the crank side bearing is going to be a little bit proud of the surface. The pocket depth on these bearings is actually different, so as stock, so it just saves material to make these thinner, and there's no compromise to the strength. So these are much thicker than stock. The ribs are cooling and also reinforcement, but you're going to destroy the transmission before you break one of these castings or one of these billet parts. And then we've also gone on ahead and installed the spring perch pin. So the transmission cover, as designed, this bearing here installs at the same depth, and this bearing here is going to be about 0.9 millimeters, 0.9 millimeters further in. So you're going to need to remove some shims there. But yeah, we're gonna remove 1 millimeter from this shaft, from the shimming. This one's the same depth, so for our initial Plastigauge measurement, we're not going to change anything here because the nominal dimensions are the same. Another thing I forgot to mention is there are gaskets included. With these, the gasket's slightly different for the performance cover. So you're going to take these alignment pins, put them in here like so, and that gasket is going to perch on these pins. Put it backwards. Go ahead, backwards. Losing my mind. Wasn't backwards. So like that. And we're going to pull shim off of here. So that one shim was actually a millimeter, so I'm just going to pull the one shim off. And then it can be hard to get this plastic gauge on here. My favorite way to do it is just stick it to the face of the washer. Take some tweezers and sort of hold it. Makes it a little easier to stick on. The plastic edge I recommend is the blue plastic edge, and you're going to want to shim towards the larger end. Of the recommended ranges. Just found things run better there. So yeah, we've got this plastic gauge installed. I don't know if you can see it from the computer, but it's basically just stuck with the weight of the oil to the washers. And then what we're gonna do is put this cover on, T-handle. So we've got 2 shims on this guy and 1 shim on this guy. Make sure you get the longer screws in the correct corners. So these paper gaskets, the custom gaskets that match the case cover, they're about 20 thousandths nominal thickness, and it seems like so far it's been my experience that they compress by half, so they add about 10 thousandths of an inch. Cool. Turning off. So we can see that, but the did not get a reading on the crank side bearing, and then we got a small reading on this bearing, which is about what we want. I've just used this plastic gauge so much, I don't even really look at the sheet anymore. If you get any kind of wetness on it, it's usually enough. Add 2.5 millimeter shims. We're gonna pull this guy off since we know we're good back there. I like the plastic gauge better than even the factory tools. I've got the factory tools. I think the plastic gauge is more of a direct measurement. All right, so now we're getting a reading, and I don't know if you can see that or not. That's looking about right, about like the other side. So we're gonna button this up. Alright, so this is going to be one of my only chances to ride in the foreseeable future without freezing my butt off. So, yeah, we're going to do a ZA50 Maxi with the case cover. And this is with 1040 motorcycle oil, which is what I really like. I really don't like Type F. yeah, so that's it. Stock cases. This is the bike I've had forever. Just clear coated all the places it caught on fire when I reinforced the frame where it cracked, and yeah, happy to, like, you know, come full circle on this thing, and got some cool parts for it now. And yeah, maybe we'll get the ZA70 out later today. Need to replace that air filter, but yeah, if you got any questions, hit up the comments. Great upgrade for anybody running a stock bike. Works with injected or non-injected engines, and helps keep your trans temps way down, and you never have to worry about popping a transmission cover bearing out of the side of the casting again.